welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something really fundamental for restaurant owners. It's that very first impression.
Right. Before the food, before the service.
Exactly. Before anything else, really.
Yeah.
It's what people see from the outside.
Yeah, and it's easy to kind of focus only on what's happening inside,
Yeah.
The kitchen, the dining room, ambiance,
But we're looking at the exterior today,
that silent ambassador, as you called it.
and we're drawing heavily on insights from Maurice. He's a hospitality pro, deep background in food and beverage.
And he has some really compelling thoughts on this. He really stresses how that first look can make or break whether someone even walks through your door.
He uses this great analogy. The exterior is like your restaurant's business card,
Mhm.
and if it looks neglected, unprofessional, well, people might just keep walking.
Yeah, like a crumpled business card. You just sort of discard it mentally.
Sure.
Potential customers lost right there.
Okay, so let's dig into that business card idea. Maurice really hammers home that success starts before the customer is even inside.
And often, the very first physical contact point is, believe it or not, the parking lot.
Seems mundane, maybe, but think about it from a customer's view.
Totally. You pull up, if it's dark, feels a bit sketchy, maybe potholes everywhere or water pooling.
Yeah.
What's that immediate gut feeling?
Not great. It suggests maybe a lack of care, right? That maybe that carries through to the inside.
Exactly. And Maurice has this really clear example, a restaurant in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
They apparently saw a 20% jump in business, 20%,
Yeah.
just by upgrading their parking lot lights, made them brighter, more modern.
Wow, that's significant. It makes you, what's going on there? Safety, perception of quality?
Probably a bit of both. Better lighting means feeling safer, more secure. And maybe it signals, this place is up to date. They care about the details.
And beyond lighting, he talks about just basic accessibility.
Mhm.
Can people even find a spot easily?
Right. Or is the parking confusing to navigate if it's a hassle right from the start?
You might just think, forget it, and go somewhere else.
Especially if there's competition nearby.
So what's a potential fix? Maurice brings up valet parking.
Where it makes sense, obviously. It's not for every place.
Sure. But he mentioned a Lyon restaurant that started offering free valet.
Yeah.
Saw a noticeable increase in customer satisfaction. It's that little bit of extra convenience, that feeling of being taken care of right from arrival.
That's a good point. There's a cost, obviously, to valet.
Of course.
But you have to weigh that against the potential return. Happier customers, maybe fitting more people in because parking is managed better, could be worth it for some.
Definitely something to consider.
And then there's the really basic stuff, like drainage.
Bright puddles.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to navigate an obstacle course to get to dinner.
Especially if you're dressed up or the weather's bad. He mentioned a Marseille place that fixed their drainage.
And it helped.
Apparently led to fewer complaints. Simple stuff, but it matters.
So the takeaway here for owners listening, Marie says, go outside, walk your own parking lot.
Yeah, pretend you're a customer seeing it for the first time.
Look for those dark corners, the confusing signs, the awkward bits. See it through your eyes.
Which leads right into dealing with existing problems, right? Design flaws, maintenance stuff.
And Maurice is optimistic here. He says even if your exterior isn't perfect, there are usually simple, cost-effective things you can do.
Like poorly marked parking spaces. Seems small.
But it causes confusion. Maybe minor fender benders, definitely frustration.
And the fix is straightforward. Clear lines. Keep them freshly painted.
He talked about a Toulouse restaurant that was really diligent about repainting lines.
And they saw fewer parking complaints, fewer issues. Makes sense.
Then potholes. Ugh.
Yeah, they just look bad. Plus, they're a trip hazard, can damage cars.
A real negative first impression.
Marie suggests that if you can't get a proper repair done immediately, maybe a temporary fix.
Like what?
Filling them with gravel. He saw a Bordeaux restaurant do that. It's not ideal long term.
But it shows you're aware you're doing something better than just leaving a gaping hole.
Exactly. And broken sidewalks. That's a big one.
Oh, definitely a safety issue.
Big time. He mentions a nice restaurant that invested in sidewalk repairs.
And it wasn't just about looks. It was about safety, about showing care.
Right. So the practical tip for Maurice on all this.
Do regular checks, like maybe twice a month, a quick walk around.
Catch the small stuff, the crack, the faded paint, the loose paving stone before it becomes a big, expensive headache. Proactive maintenance.
Yeah, it's about staying on top of it.
Yeah.
Now, beyond the sort of structural things, Maurice really emphasizes the power of daily habits.
Those small actions that add up.
Exactly, things that signal you care about the details. about the whole experience.
Like just picking up litter. So simple.
But so impactful. He mentioned a Strasbourg restaurant that made it a strict daily routine.
And it improved their image.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Just looked tidier, more cared for. Pride of place.
And cleaning the parking lot itself, getting rid of debris, bottles, glass.
It looks better, obviously, but it's also safer.
Maurice points to a Nantes restaurant daily parking lot sweeps led to fewer complaints about, messiness or safety concerns out there.
Makes sense. Another daily check he flags, exterior lights.
Oh yeah, especially signage lighting. A burnt-out bulb there.
It just screams neglect, doesn't it?
No.
Even if everything inside is perfect.
Totally. He gave an example in Montpellier, I think. A place made sure all exterior bulbs were checked constantly.
And the result.
Doubled their attractiveness, basically. More visible, more inviting at night.
So how do you make sure this stuff actually happens every day? It's easy for things to slip.
Maurice suggests a checklist. Simple, but effective.
Right. For the opening or closing staff, maybe.
Yeah.
Check lights, quick litter pickup, sweep the entrance.
Just bake it into the routine. Makes those small but vital tasks consistent.
Okay, moving slightly from physical upkeep to policies, the rules of the road, so to speak.
Yeah, the sort of behind-the-scenes decisions that can remove friction for the customer.
When he highlights his staff parking.
Yeah.
Where do your employees park?
Good question. His point is the best spots, the most convenient ones.
Should be for customers, not staff.
Exactly. He mentioned a little restaurant adopting that policy.
Customers noticed.
They appreciated it. It sends that message. The customer comes first right from the parking lot.
Another potential annoyance. Paid parking.
Sometimes it's unavoidable. Location dictates it.
But Marie says, explore options. Can you offer free parking? Validate. Credit the cost on their bill.
Anything to remove that barrier. A Ren restaurant did that free parking or a credit.
Just makes it easier, less hassle for the diner.
Definitely. And thinking about less common issues, but still important, what if a car gets damaged in your lot?
Yeah, awkward.
Maurice advises checking your insurance. Are you covered? How do you handle it smoothly?
Avoid disputes, basically. He mentioned a Grenoble place that specifically extended their coverage for this.
Smart move. Proactive.
So the theme with these policies is really empathy, isn't it?
Totally. Put yourself in the customer's shoes. Their experience starts out there. Make it easy. Make it pleasant.
Okay, finally, Maurice talks about going the extra mile.
Yeah.
Those thoughtful details.
Yeah, the unexpected touches that make an experience memorable, not just satisfactory.
Things that generate buzz, maybe? Positive word of mouth?
Exactly, like that free valet parking we mentioned earlier.
Why, it costs money.
But that Paris example, a 15% increase in customers after introducing it, that's a serious return. The perceived value was clearly huge.
What else? He mentioned small things like personalized welcomes.
Yeah, maybe a little sign near the entrance acknowledging a birthday or anniversary booking.
Nice touch, makes people feel special.
Simple, low cost, big impact potentially. And what about anticipating needs, like bad weather?
Oh, right, free umbrellas. Maybe branded ones.
He saw a Marseille restaurant do that, hugely appreciated by customers caught in the rain.
It just shows you're thinking about them, beyond the transaction.
So Maurice's advice here is, think about your quieter times. Could some of these small touches help attract people then?
Interesting idea. Use those extras strategically to build loyalty and maybe fill tables during off-peak hours.
It's about adding value in creative ways.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Maurice's core message seems pretty clear.
Yeah, basically. Don't underestimate your exterior. It's your first handshake with the customer.
It sets the tone for everything that follows.
And the key things to focus on: cleanliness, good lighting, easy access, fixing the problems.
And those thoughtful little extras that show you care, they all add up to that crucial positive first impression.
And that impression, that feeling they get before they even sit down, it directly impacts loyalty. It impacts whether they tell their friends about you.
Absolutely. It really does set the stage.
Which brings us to Maurice's final challenge, really, for every restaurant owner listening.
Go outside your own restaurant. Stand across the street.
And ask yourself honestly, if I were just driving by, seeing this for the first time, would I be tempted? Would I want to go in?
It's a simple question, but powerful. Requires seeing your place with fresh, critical eyes.
Yeah. And maybe the final thought to leave everyone with is about creating a positive cycle.
How so?
Well, if you consistently nail that exterior experience, make it welcoming, make it easy, you attract more people.
Right.
They have a good first impression, which likely leads to a better overall experience. They come back, they tell others.
Which attracts more people.
Exactly. It's this upward spiral driven in part by getting that very first interaction right, starting right out on the curb. It's fundamental to long-term success.